Hi there, Jane here again, this time to do the critique for the September theme of Entrance, and here are my final selected images from the ones that everyone submitted. Now I have got a few comments to say about the images that were submitted. We had lots posted, but what I would say is quite a lot of them weren't always that sharp, so the quality wasn't always that great, and also quite a lot of them were sort of snapshots and quick pictures of doors and other types of entrances, rather than being really more considered images that the person had thought a lot about the composition or a lot about the story that that entrance was telling. So I think it's probably useful to hear that, so that if you are trying to get your images to feature in the final selection, those that are very sharp, where they should be, well exposed, and then tell a good story, or have some kind of emotional connection for the viewer, and then fit the theme very well, are more likely to be selected. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful to you, and I will now talk through all these images featured here, and then also go on to tell you which is my favourite. Okay, so this image here by Vicky ED. Now, there's things I like and there's things I don't like about this. One of the things I do like is that it's a tricky image to get the exposure right, and Vicky has nailed it. And it is something I'm hoping to do a bit of a video or blog on over the next few days when I'm going away, and should get a chance to take some pictures, and purely with a view of helping people on this particular subject. The reason it's tricky is because you have got a bright scene through here and you have got a dark interior here. And I suspect, I might be wrong, Vicky might have got this right in camera, because some cameras do let you play around with the amount of range of light that the camera can portray or capture. But it is actually very, very difficult to get the detail still in here and still get that exposure out there, not completely overexposed. So Vicky, if you want to make a comment and say whether you had to have a play around afterwards to retain some of this detail and get the exposure right there, then please let me know. In terms of composition, little bit messy, but that doesn't bother me too much. The other thing I would question, that by shooting from the inside of the house to outside, this is actually an exit, not an entrance. I mean, that's really pedantic, but strictly speaking, that's what it is. But I did pick it out because of your the way that you have made the exposure correct, and I do like the fact that you framed the landscape through there. Okay, thanks Vicky. And then a shot by Jill Shaw, where I like the repeating archways in this one. That's why I picked this out. So we've got the outside archway here, we've got another one there and another one glimpsed through there. And I thought that was quite a clever position to take that shot from, you know, and then we've obviously got the sort of repeating arch shapes here. So any kind of, well, it's leading your eye through into the image a little bit and creating a sense of depth. And any repeating shapes and patterns tend to make a picture feel quite harmonious. So, you know, just a nice, pleasing image there, Jill, and works well in black and white. So thank you for that. Then we've got this shot by Ray Fung, and I like the subject. I really like the old wood, the textures, the colours. And I think it's, you know, it's an interesting find to come across. What I'm not so keen on is, to me, it's not really telling too much of a story and has a feel of a snapshot about it. So, you know, I shouldn't have to apologise to people really. You know, you want me to give you your opinion, don't you? So, my opinion, so that's what I'm doing. I feel like it could have been a stronger shot somehow. So I've included it, Ray, because I do like the subject matter, but as an example of me trying to say, okay, here's a great subject, but perhaps not the best sort of way of making an image tell a story and arrest you a little bit more. Okay. great capture by Alan, his lovely dog, and making an entrance, and so sharp. And really great, strong composition, and a lovely story. So yes, this one ticks the boxes. So really liked that, and very nicely edited again, Alan, in your style, where you push it, but you don't tip it quite over the edge into overdone HDR. And I know I've said that lots of times to you before. Okay, now this shot, really like this one. So I'm criticising, saying some people's images were just snapshots. This is a quick, clever capture where, yes, this is an entrance and the guy going up into the entrance is fantastic, but it's the context, it's the surrounding, it's the artwork on the wall. It has more of a story. It's fascinating, it's interesting, it grabs you and makes you stop. So that's why I've picked this one. It's kind of quite street photography reportage, but you know, I like the way it's kind of almost split in two, with this big piece of artwork here and then the sort of structures over here. It's interesting. It makes you think, gosh, are they going to demolish this? Is that going to be all lost? And the way that the guy here appears to be looking over at the artwork as well. It's almost as if his eyes are eye contact with over here. So fantastic shot, and it would have been a great one for #eyes as well. So well done, Liz Kenny. Brilliant, thank you. Then this shot by Vicky, really like this one, beautiful light, could be an entrance or an exit, to be fair on this one, entrance to another room, so I think this one works. When you start to hunt around the image, I'm not mad keen on this modern bit up here and this darker triangle here, so I did have a play with cropping it, and perhaps that's a little stronger. Just to get rid of those distractions up there, but lovely light, lovely textures and colours, and nice find, Vicky, so great, thank you for that. Then we've got a couple of images from H. Wilson. I'm sorry, I don't know your first name. I'm wanting to say Helen, but I could be completely wrong. A couple of good, strong images here. I'll go on to the second one in a moment. But here we have the entrance to a car park. Feels very street photography-ish. I love the composition, looking up, all these repeating strong squares, cubes up here. The strong diagonals and triangles in this image. So this is somebody who's spotted what could have been just a mundane entrance to a car park and has approached it in a way that has made it very, very striking. So great image there, H.L. Wilson. And then your second one, again, a fantastic example of what I was saying about finding something, but really thinking about the composition. So very symmetrical composition here, very strong. The colour palette works really well, and the way that you've got the reflection up here, and then you've got the solid brick and everything to the entrance here. It's intriguing, you want to know where it goes, and a really, really nice shot. So thank you for that, Helen. I'm going to come back to it in a second. There'll be a reason why. And then my favourite isn't going to be a surprise to anybody because it is a corker of a shot. This shot here by Chris Key, wow, the Chroma lifeboat making an entrance into the water. Now, I know Chris said he's had many goes at getting this shot right, and this time it paid off. Well, it certainly did. And I don't need to say too much about that shot. Well, again, I'm going to mention symmetry, actually. It's very symmetrical as a shot, and it's full of action and power, the composition's fantastic, the colours are great, the colours in that water and the detail, and that whole thing about the speed and the force, it tells a really strong story. So it's absolutely cracking, really well deserved image, Chris, one of the best ones I've seen for a while actually, so that's really good. So thank you to everybody, especially well done to Chris, and I'm going to just come back to this image and announce one day early, for those of you bothered to watch all the way to the end or to watch it all, that the theme for October is symmetry. So I'd already decided that before I came to make this video, but just love the fact that we've got a really good example of symmetry here. So I will announce it properly tomorrow, but well done to everybody. Thanks for listening, and get posting for next month, but watch that story, watch the focus and those technical issues, and you'll see your photography move on a good step as well. So thanks again.